Hey everyone, welcome back to Redbanditracing. Welcome back to the channel. We got the MAXX here and we blew out a shock. So actually I shouldn't say we, I should say William blew out a shock. But let's check out which shock it is. It's the left front. So we're not sure where this happened, but we're gonna find the clip and put it up so you guys can check it out while we're talking. But it bent the shock tube, leaked the fluid out, and I'm gonna take it apart and show you, but it really damaged that shock tube. We have not blown out a shock like this, especially on a MAXX. We've blown out some of the Ultra shocks, mainly bending the rods, but never a GT-MAXX shock. So this is actually pretty interesting how this happened. So this will be kind of quick. I'm just going to show you guys how to rebuild one real quick, and this should be a pretty quick video. So let's jump right into it. All right, so the first thing you're going to need is you're going to need a 2.0 bit, a 2.0 driver. I like using a pick sometimes to help me guide the hole in so I can put the shock back on, and some type of crescent wrench. So let's go ahead and take this shock off real quick. So we got that out. Let's go ahead and take this shock off. Get a paper towel to work on. And we're definitely gonna have to clean this up. That fluid leaked out everywhere. All right, so let's clean the shock up a little bit and get it disassembled. All right, so first thing, take that bottom screw out, that aside. Ooh, this thing's really bent. All right, have to clean that up a little bit. Take this spring out. All right, the spring's not bent, looks like it's still pretty straight, so we don't not worry about replacing the spring. We'll be doing a lot of cleaning here because this has got oil everywhere. We got our shock. Let's go ahead and take the collar down. Shouldn't be any fluid in here, so yeah, there's no fluid in there. Let's go ahead and let's take that seal out. We're not going to reuse this seal. We're going to rebuild the whole thing. Just in case that there might be a problem, we want to make sure that there's no more issues. Make sure nothing's bent on it. And that breather hole right here, make sure that's cleaned out. Go. There's some dirt stuck in there. Make sure you guys clean out that bleeder hole right there. You do not want dirt in there when you're trying to bleed it. Yeah, there we go. I got a piece of dirt out there. I think I hear a frog right above me. Somewhere. Okay, got that. Put these old parts aside. All right, now we're going to take the collar off. Make sure the seal's okay on the collar because there is an O-ring on there. All right, got that. And as you can see, the housing bent right there. The rod's clearly bent. Wow, all the force is on the bottom of this tube right here. Look at that. That is gnarly. But yeah, we're not gonna, you can barely move this thing, so we're not gonna reuse this. So we're just gonna leave this here for now. That's trash. The parts that we'll be using in this video is part number 8965R. That'll be the GT-MAXX shock tube in red. Then we have part number 8963, and those are the shock shafts. These are the stock ones. These aren't the anodized. Honestly, we haven't needed them. This is the first time we've bent a rod on a MAXX. So unless this happens all the time, I wouldn't buy the anodized. I would just buy the stock ones. And a seal kit. The seal kit will be 8962. This will be a complete rebuild kit. So this will be good to have. So let's get started by reassembling it. Everything looks good. I've had some where they were scratched inside, like the casting was bad, but this actually looks real nice. All right, open up our rebuild kit. And our shot and our shafts. Take one out. We'll have a spare. And let's go ahead and dump this out so we can kind of see what we're going to need here. Okay, it's going to be able to, the kits are going to be able to let you rebuild too. So we're going to make sure that we take out the stuff that we need. First thing we're going to do is we're going to get the cartridge right here. And we're going to get the O-ring. And we're going to put this O-ring around it. Before I actually put it on, I'm going to put a little bit of gear oil on it. A little bit of shock oil. All right, put that on there just like that. All right, next thing we're going to do is we're going to put one of these seals in right here. and these are called an X-ring. So I'm going to put that in there, and I'm going to use this because I don't want to damage anything. Right, I'm just going to put a bit of shock oil on here just to kind of help put this in, because this is kind of going in kind of tight. So just like that, I'm just going to use my tool. Perfect, just like that. Then I'm going to put this other one in here. That's just a spacer, it's just a plastic spacer. Put that in just like that. Then I want to put the other one in. A little. Sorry about the background noise. There's a lot of kids out. It hasn't rained this weekend, so everyone's kind of out and about. All right, got that in. Guys, this tool, it may look like a funky tool and all the cars come with one. There's a reason why your kits come with this. It literally rebuilds shocks. It helps loosens the nuts and puts your wheels on. I mean, there's multiple uses for this. So this is a great tool to have. Don't discard it because it looks cheap. It's actually really useful. All right, so we got that on. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to put this guy on. They call this a bushing. Let's see, this one is going to go facing down. So if you look at it like this, if you look at it like that, you can kind of tell the difference between the top and the bottom. You're going to put that in there just like that. Make sure it's pressed in. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to grab the bushing clip. The clip is going to go through one of the sides, and all that's doing is it's locking this bushing, so this bushing can't come in and out. So now it's locked in there. Okay. So now what we're going to do is let's go ahead and get the shock shaft right here. Move it up just a little bit, and I want to put it in. Go carefully, like keep moving it around as you're putting it in, because otherwise you're going to hurt those seals and you're going to end up with a shock leak. I want to put a little bit more on this seal right here. That way this seal also doesn't get torn when you're putting it in. All right, so that's good. Okay, and now what we're going to do is we're going to put the piston in. I haven't rebuilt a whole lot of these, but yeah, let's go ahead and we're going to get this guy right here. Get that little washer, put that on. Then you'll put the piston on. And I think it's a 2.5 lock nut. So there's a little bit of Teflon on there to keep it locked. You're going to use a nifty little tool, tighten it down. I'm going to have to hold this so I can get it tightened down. And what I normally do, I haven't bought one yet. I am going to buy one. It's actually a shock shaft holder. So what I'm going to do for now is I'm going to bite down the bottom where the seals don't ride, because you don't want to do it up here, because if you do it up here, you're going to cut this, and then as it goes up and down, you're going to tear seal. So I just carefully bite it right there, just enough to where I can get this tightened down. All right, so now we got that done. Now let's go ahead and put this in, just like that. Carefully, as you're spinning it and putting on, check the seal to make sure it's not catching, which it's not. Looks good. All right, that looks good. So now I'm going to grab it, my crescent, and get a nice good tight. You don't got to crank it down, just make sure it's secure, and that's it. All right, so once we got that, let's go ahead and put some oil in it. We're using 80 weight. Yeah, we're using 80 weight. Now once I put a little bit in there, now the reason why I only put about that much in there is because the air bubbles are going to escape quicker if there's less oil in it for it to escape. If you fill the shock tube up all the way to the top and you're trying to bleed it, that air has to travel all the way to the top before you can finish. Now, if you only fill it to the bottom to get the air out, it's going to bleed a lot quicker, and all you got to do is top it off. So now we're going to let this sit for a little bit, and I'm going to find somewhere where I can perch it. Maybe right there, and I'm just going to let it sit for a little bit, and we'll be right back. All right, now we're going to get our new seal for the cap. I'm just put some shock oil on it, and I want to put in the cap. I like putting them in the cap. You can't do that with the Ultra Shocks or the Big Bore. You can't do that with the GTR shocks either. The GT-MAXX, it gives you a little bit more room to do that. So I usually do that, and I just screw them right on. Because if you fill the GT-MAXX up to the top, which I'll show you, and then go down with it, as long as you have enough fluid in there, it'll push the air out. So you won't have any air in your shock. There's many ways you can do this. And if you guys look up how to bleed your RC shocks, you're going to come up with a lot of videos. So it's really just preference. All right, this one should be pretty good. So now we're going to top it off. All right, now we're going to put our collar on over real quick. I'm going to go near the bottom just so I have a little bit of leverage to grab it. All right, like that. So we got the fluid near the top. If you guys can see that, it's just at the top. Going to put our cap on. Here's a bleeder hole. Right there. See it? Okay. Clean that off. Take your driver or your pick. Give it just a good turn. You don't need to crank on it. You don't need to sit there and go to town on it and try and squish all the way down and you end up tearing a seal. That's all you need. Doing it the way I did, where you have the shaft all the way down and then putting a cap on, it's gonna be a lot stiffer. If you want to add a little preload, then what you're gonna do is you're gonna put the shock about halfway right here and then put the cap on. Because what's gonna happen is you're gonna have a little bit more preload when you land, and that's good if you're racing and stuff like that. But if you're out there bashing, you kind of want maximum travel here. So do it that way, have it all the way down, and then put your cap back on, because you're gonna feel it. It's got a lot of pressure, and that's kind of what you want with these. So that actually feels pretty good. So let's go ahead and let's see. Actually, let's take a look at this one real quick. Move this. Okay, so we're gonna keep it right about there. That's pretty close. All right, so we're just gonna leave it there for now. All right, let's put our spring back on, put our retainer back on, and we got a brand new screw. There you go, practically a brand new shock. So hopefully that won't happen again, but these shocks are getting kind of old, so I guess we'll have to wait and see. That was kind of a freak accident. We're trying to find out when that actually happened. I'm pretty sure it was the skate park. It could have been the baseball field we were at, but I want to say it was the skate park because I saw it collapse once, but maybe it was already damaged and it just added insult to injury going to the skate park. And that's probably what happened. But I mean, that also goes to show you, when you guys take your cars out, you guys need to inspect your cars first. If you got a broken part and you don't even know it, you're just going to cause a whole lot more damage, because now you're just beating it up. So before you guys take your cars out, make sure you guys do an inspection, just a quick inspection, so you guys can see if anything's broken or anything needs to be fixed. Let's just do it right there. So let's get this bad boy in real quick. And I always like to put the bleeder facing the back, just because that way dirt's not hitting it. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the top in real quick. That. Now I'm going to put the bottom one. The bottom one's a little bit tricky. Let me see what the other one looks like. The other one's on the inboard, so I'll make sure it's on the inboard. Sometimes you have to angle it. So what I like to do is I take a pick. Like that. Then all I gotta do is make sure the wheel doesn't move. You're good. Got that all fixed up. We got some extra parts now, and now the MAXX is back up and running and ready to take a beating. All right, now we got that all fixed up. MAXX is ready to go. It's looking good. That skate park, man, it took a beating. Look at that. It already started coming through the body a little bit there, and a couple spots right there. But hey, you know what? That's fine. The MAXX can take a beating. That's why we got the MAXX. I don't know. What do you guys think about these tires? The Badlands, it just seems like they're a little bit smaller, but not that much heavier than the Sledgehammers. It didn't feel like we were getting a lot of rotation with these. So let us know. Do you guys like these tires? Do you guys like the Badlands on the Maxxes? How do you guys feel about the rotational force that it has, doing backflips and stuff like that? Because I'm kind of thinking maybe the next set of tires we get are the sledgehammers again. And that's only because they just started belting them, which means they're probably a little bit heavier and they probably do a better job. But that doesn't mean I don't like these. These are so nice. I mean, I can't tell you how smooth these tires are going on the concrete. I mean, I can't wait to take it to the track, but we'll have to wait and see when Silver Spurs dried up. I'm not sure what it looks like right now, but we'll keep you guys updated. This was nice, just a nice quick little repair for you guys. We got some other repairs coming along. My Max chipped another spur, but I'll explain why later. All right, so I'll do it for this video. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. It really helps us out. Make sure you turn on that notification bell. Unless you just want to subscribe and not be notified, just to give us a subscription, that'd be awesome. But anyways, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.